All right. Well, after a long ride from Boise down to Salt Lake, I've finally arrived, and I'm here today, very excited to meet with Todd Winzenreid, founder and CEO of Netwize. Now, you are, I would say, an MSP focusing primarily on the Utah market. Is that that's I think how you look at your business?
Yeah, I would say maybe a little bit different. We're more of a value-added reseller
Okay.
that added managed services to our offerings.
That's great. Well, tell us a bit more about your business. Tell us, who are the customers that you're targeting? What are some of the solutions that you're offering, and what is your secret sauce to winning in the market and competing?
There's a lot of questions.
I'll let you go.
Yeah, so our primary market is the Utah market.
Yeah.
We support surrounding states, but we focus primarily on the Utah market. So we've been in business 20 years now, and we started the business as a value-added reseller. It was before managed services was coined a word, and then about 10, maybe even 11 years ago, managed services started to arise, and we quickly got on the managed services track and became a managed service provider, but we still continued to do product fulfillment and project work for mid-market companies that had IT staff. So that's typically where we draw the line between what we do as managed services and where we are doing more product fulfillment solutions. Is if they have an IT staff, that's when we're consulting with them on products and solutions and delivering project-based work.
Yes.
And if they don't have an IT staff, that's where we introduce the managed service to them, and we outsource the whole IT function. Or we're starting to move up more into the lower mid-market space, and maybe we'll outsource server management, or maybe we'll outsource help desk. We'll take a portion away from the IT staff to offload some portion that they're looking to offload.
Now, your primary customer, I think, is in the small and medium business area, but obviously moving further up into mid-market. How are you thinking about the services that they need, or how are you thinking about delivering on the outcomes that these customers are looking for? Do they have a specific idea, or do you come in and consult and give them sort of the direction?
Well, that's the one thing that I think has evolved a lot over the last 3 to 5 years is businesses, especially smaller businesses, are much more dependent on information technology. They used to look at it as an afterthought and an expense that they didn't want to make, and now they realize that it's an integral part and can make a difference, a competitive difference in their business. So I think a big part of what's changed for us is we've had to become almost business consultants first, and then we follow up with IT solution, trying to align that with a business outcome. And that's really what our strategy is. We try not to even talk about products when we first are meeting with a customer. We try to learn about their business, learn about what their pain points are, learn what their strategic directions are, and then we get to, what can we help you do from a technology perspective to either facilitate what you already are trying to do, or help you understand what this modern IT digital transformation even means and how to tackle that.
Right. And I would say that approach is particularly important with this move to the cloud and the whole concept of digital transformation. How are customers embracing the cloud here in Utah, or how is it that you're helping specifically to cloud to educate them in terms of where to go to cloud and where not to go to cloud?
First, I think it starts with education, because a lot of them don't know really what cloud means to their business. And it's a very confusing
there's a lot of
term, you know, what cloud
what is
means
it?
to one person.
It's very
means
cloudy.
something different to another.
That's right.
I like it was almost like a joke. It's, well, what is the cloud? It's just somebody else's computer.
That's right. It's an operating model more than anything.
But we start with an education on what the cloud is,
Right.
how they might use it, and help them understand that it doesn't have to be like a wholesale move to the cloud. They don't have to like move everything to the cloud. So most of our customers have been introduced to the cloud through Office 365. Was one of the primary things that they started using the cloud for, that they actually understood that they were using the cloud for. Prior to that, we do a lot of backup and disaster recovery work. Right. So, you know, we would have an on-prem backup solution, but we would also put a copy off site in the cloud. So that was for a lot of our customers, that was one of their first introductions to the cloud, along with anti-spam type of solution, where, you know, we were using different providers to filter their mail before it ever hit their environment, which was a cloud-based solution. So introducing them to Office 365 has been a huge change to help them understand what cloud means. And now we're educating them more on, hey, maybe you don't, you know, when a server refresh comes up, maybe you don't need a server on premise anymore. We might be able to accomplish this with Azure-based type of solution, or maybe a hybrid type of solution for uptime. And in the mid-market space, a traditional model that we've implemented for years and years for customers concerned about uptime is their primary site they buy hardware for, but then if they're concerned about disaster recovery, they buy almost identical amounts of equipment and put it in a data center somewhere else out of region. So we're having a lot of discussions with the mid-market space around, hey, maybe you don't need to buy that second set of hardware and manage it anymore, because you can spin that up in the cloud and manage it easier and more cost effective and be more flexible. So we're having a lot of those discussions as well.
That's exciting. So I wanted to ask, so how has your relationship with Dell EMC been, and how is it that Dell EMC is helping you in that, in meeting the needs of those customers and helping to educate them and to ultimately grow your business as well?
Yeah, Dell is our primary partner, so we're strategically aligned with Dell, so they help us in a lot of ways, just because that is a strategic alliance that we have chosen to make. We started with Dell back in the Compellent days because we were focused on storage, and when they acquired Compellent, we became a Dell partner, and we quickly started to understand Dell has an army of people out there supporting A to Z, and we have a lot of partner support if we do the work to align with their team. So we worked hard to align with the Dell team. We were also an EMC dealer before the acquisition, so it was a natural transition. So even more focus has been put on our Dell EMC business now with the merger. So we rely heavily on the Dell team, and a big part of what we do is try to build relationships. So relationships are really key to our business, and we need that one-on-one contact. We need to be able to sit down with people and have face-to-face conversations, and they've been able to facilitate that better than any of our other manufacturers.
That's great. That's great to hear. Now, there's always room to improve. Last question: anything Dell EMC? What can we do better to support you as a partner? Is there anything we're missing at this point?
I think it is getting better, but we still have some conflict around the direct model and the partner focused model. We're working very hard, and we also see that Dell is working
Yeah,
very
that's
hard
right.
on that, but there's some work to be done
Yes.
still. So I think what I like is that they recognize it and they're working that direction. Another thing with the merger, there was some confusion, and I think there's starting to be more clarity
It's good to hear.
now. The one thing, another thing that might help too is simplifying some of the complexity. That's, you know, there's such a breadth of things that we
Yeah.
can align with and do with them, and to help us,
Right.
you know, reduce that complexity a little bit so we can better align with them.
That's great feedback. Well, good. Well, listen, there's always room to improve. But thank you very much for being a great Dell EMC partner, and
Yeah.
appreciate the conversation
Thank
and your
you.
insights today.
Yeah, we appreciate Dell as a partner.